Hi guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and today's video is going to be a full day of eating on a rest day. So I'll put my macros and calories up on the screen now. I'm currently gaining, but I've come out of a cut, as I mentioned in the last video. So food's slowly coming up, and you might think, that's quite low for a guy like you to be gaining off. But honestly, currently with this food, I'm coming up at a very nice gradual rate, and it's an emphasis I'm putting on this sort of gaining phase is to really slow things down and choose a really slow rate of gain as long as my strength's improving at the gym. So obviously don't copy my exact calories and macros because they'll be very specific to you, but this video is to give you an indication of sort of the foods I'm having, how I'm keeping it pretty simple. I mean, none of these foods are going to be a culinary masterpiece at all, but I enjoy them, I enjoy eating them, so hopefully you get some insights into what I do. And apologies for the noise, the washing machine's on in the background. Chose the right time to film, but anyway, let's get stuck in. So for my meals across the day, on a rest day, I tend to prep on the go. I'm in the habit of now prepping sort of my training day meals. On a Sunday, which will be Monday and Tuesday, I'll train. So I'll have meals ready to go. And then on a Wednesday is my rest day. And typically I won't prep the meals that far in advance. I could do it on a sort of Tuesday evening, maybe I'll get into that habit. But usually it's just easy for me to prep on the go. So this is meal one, which is 4 eggs, 50 grams of smoked salmon, around 100 grams of Jason's sourdough. And then the salad, I don't really count. I'll just take a handful of that and put it on the side. And yeah, that's meal one. Okay, so we have meal two going down. This is actually one of my favorite meals, a sweet meal, but it works pretty nicely at this time of day because usually what I do on my rest day is I'll have meal two, which is pretty carb heavy, basically just carbs and some protein. And then I'll go and do my 20 minutes cardio. I'll do my ab work, a little bit of a walk. So actually exercising after having a good amount of carbs. So we can utilize this, and I've already done my first work block as well of the day, so all my client check-ins. So I'm not necessarily gonna get that crash from having a ton of carbs and going to work. I'm going like straight to the gym to do a little bit of training or a little bit cardio, a little bit core work. So this is why this meal actually works pretty well. When I get back to the gym, I'll prepare the next meal now. So I've got salmon and lean beef. I've actually prepared some lean beef from earlier on in the week. So I'll get that ready for when I come back, and that will be my next couple meals. But this is 50 grams of jam, 2 cinnamon and raisin bagels, an orange, and 50 grams of whey protein. So I'm gonna get stuck into this. Catch you guys in the next meal. So I am just prepping my rice and my veg for meals 3 and 4 now. I'm going to head to the gym soon to do some cardio and a bit of abs. But this is a game changer, guys. If you are a physique athlete or anyone really, I would highly recommend getting yourself a rice cooker. You're better doing this and doing your own rice as opposed to the packet rices, which have some oils in there, like additional calories that you don't need. And when you are, either when you're in a gaining phase or a prep, digestion wise, this is going to be so much better to prep your own rice. So I've got 160 grams of rice, which will do meal 3 and 4. Veg, usually, you can also use this. It's like a steaming basket, and you can put your veg in here. I won't do that just because I'm going to put this on and it will keep it hot. It will keep the rice hot for the rest of the day, so I can use it whenever. Another great part of doing this is like, yeah, you can prep your whole rice for the day and just keep it in the rice cooker. It will keep it good to eat. So usually what I tend to do is just put the rice in like a glass Tupperware box, tub, glass Tupperware tub, and I'll just put that in the microwave with a little bit of water to kind of steam the veg. And yeah, all I need to do here is just put this on. I just press start, select the setting. Oh wait, sorry. Select the setting from here. So I think it's long grain rice for basmati, and then I just press start. And there it will go. It will tell me like when it's about half an hour from being ready, it will tell that on the screen, but this will usually take about an hour. There's also a quick cook setting as well, which takes about 25 minutes if you want rice a bit quicker, but I think the best way to do it is to do the long grain setting there. So, meal number 3 going down. We have been to the gym and did a little bit of cardio. I didn't film anything because I had to kind of get in, get out quite quickly. I had a call straight after. So sitting down for meal 3 now, which is 80 grams of rice and a salmon fillet, so 130 grams of salmon fillet. I do this in the air fryer so the skin goes kind of crunchy, which is really nice. And then the veg that I showed you earlier as well. So we're going to enjoy this meal. Also have one of these from Tesco, 0 calorie fizzy juice. I don't think this has any caffeine in it. At least it doesn't say on the ingredients at the back, which it usually does. So that's good because it's sort of mid-afternoon now. So I'm testing out that, see if that works. But yeah, so going to enjoy this meal. I've got sort of a similar meal for meal 4, which is just going to be the same, but with beef instead of salmon, and then oats to finish the day off. And usually in the afternoon, I have like a little bit of a work block. Today's Wednesday, so busy morning of client check-ins, and then I will have that meal that you saw, the last meal, meal 2, get to the gym, and then usually the afternoons either calls, I will record the podcast, and then we'll chill out and chill for the evening. So that's my typical sort of rest day setup. But yeah, all good. I'll catch you in the next meal. So just finished off recording a podcast episode there. And that's us finished this evening's sort of work block. I got some of these at the gym, which are interesting. I'm not a huge believer in hydration supplements, but if this makes my water taste nice, it should be quite good. This is like a strawberry flavor. I got lemon and lime. And then I got passion fruit. I didn't buy these, by the way. The gym manager just gave them to me. I'm quite friendly with the gym manager at the gym group, which I normally head to the gym group on a Wednesday to do my cardio. So he just gave them to me, which is cool. So yeah, it's about 6 o'clock. I am going to head and get my next meal in. Okay, so it's getting a little bit dark. Hopefully this comes across okay in the video. But meal 4, we have 80 grams of rice, which we put in the rice cooker from before, 250 grams of beef mince, and then the rest of the veg that I prepped earlier. So I think that's, 80 grams. Doesn't look the most appetizing of meals, but nonetheless, I kind of enjoy this meal. I'm still at the point of this gaining phase. It hasn't been that long that every meal I'm kind of somewhat looking forward to. There will be a stage where this becomes just a sort of chore to get down, just kind of get it down and focus on getting to the next meal. But at the moment, it is all good. So, gonna tuck into this meal and I will catch you in the final meal of the day. So, just out getting some final steps. I'm recording on my iPhone, by the way, if the quality is not quite as good. But yeah, if food's getting high, another little tip, go out and do some walks in between meals. Now, I don't do it a ton, But if food's getting really high, like I'd say for me, north of 4,000, just getting out and moving a little bit in between meals can make a massive difference to digestion. And in the evening, I quite like doing some steps. Like, it really helps me to wind down. So I'll have that meal, and then my last meal kind of goes in around about 8 p.m. I probably, like, as I get further into the skating phase, this food gets a little bit higher. I will prioritize having food a little bit closer towards the beginning of the day as opposed to the end. You don't want to be going to bed on a super full stomach, but I go to bed a bit later, like 10:30, so it doesn't make a huge difference for me. Okay, so fifth and final meal of the day. This is 100 grams of oats, 10 grams of dark chocolate, 50 grams of frozen blueberries, 50 grams of frozen blackberries, and 50 grams of whey protein. So a nice meal to finish off the day. As food gets a bit higher, I'll probably switch for something like a cream of rice, something that will digest a little bit easier. I find having a ton of oats, the further I get into a gaining phase, the harder it becomes, or I'll simply blend it and have it as a shake. So that concludes the day of eating. I hope there was a lot of useful tips in here today, some inspiration perhaps you can take out of this full day of eating that you can use in your own. And if you've got any questions at all, please let me know and drop them in the comments below. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. It helps the channel out, and go and give the Natural Physique podcast a listen as well. I'll link it down in the bio. Okay guys, stay tuned for the next video.